Right then, no fluff, let's get straight into it. We're talking about Zcash, ZEC, the coin that promised to be a ghost in the machine but is looking more like a ghost of its former self.
Chuckling, here we go. You mean the coin that's about as private as a glass bathroom?
Yeah.
The one that had a bigger identity crisis than a teenager in a punk band?
That's the one. Look, the initial idea was solid, I'll give them that. Back in 2016, it lands a fork of Bitcoin, but with this mad bit attack called ZK Snarks. Zero knowledge proofs.
Sounds proper brainy, doesn't it? The whole pitch is you can send money without anyone knowing who sent it, who got it, or how much it was.
Yeah.
Real secret agent stuff, meant to be the future.
It's like proving you've got the key to a Mayfair penthouse without ever showing anyone the key or even telling them the address.
Right.
The tech itself is genuinely next level. But here's where the wheels come off.
Okay.
The first massive gaping hole in the strategy.
It's optional, isn't it? The big secret is
Yep.
you don't have to use it.
Is completely optional. They give you two types of addresses, T addresses, which are totally transparent and public, and Z addresses, which are the shielded private ones.
Okay.
Now, take a wild guess which one everyone and their dog uses.
Sarcastically, the public ones, of course. It's like buying a brand new supercar with a go faster button, but you're too scared to press it.
Right.
So you just potter around in first gear. The data is a joke. A tiny fraction of transactions are actually private. The shielded pool is basically empty.
And that invalidates the whole point. The strength of a privacy coin comes from being able to hide in a massive crowd.
Right.
If there's no crowd, you're not hiding. You're just the one weirdo standing in the middle of an empty field wearing a ghillie suit.
Yeah.
You stick out more.
It's worse than that. If your private Z-address funds ever interact with a public T-address, which they have to trade on most exchanges,
Yeah.
you're basically shining a spotlight on yourself. The privacy gets contaminated.
Wow.
The whole thing is a leaky bucket.
So, reason number one, you don't buy this thing. Its main selling point is a feature almost nobody uses, which in turn makes the feature pointless and even risky for the few who do. It's a beautiful, self-destructing machine.
All right, that's the tech flaw. But let's get to the real executioner. The reason this thing is on life support.
Yeah.
Waiting for someone to pull the plug. Dramatic. The regulators.
Ah, mate, this is the guillotine hanging over its head.
Totally.
The exchanges are absolutely petrified of this coin.
And they have every right to be. Put yourself in their shoes. You're running a massive exchange. You've got governments breathing down your neck about anti-money laundering and KYC.
Right.
Then this coin comes along, swaggering about how its entire purpose is to make transactions untraceable.
The compliance team at Binance probably needed therapy.
Right.
That's why they and other giants like OKX started delisting these privacy coins or threatening to do so. It's not a hypothetical risk.
No.
It is happening right now.
Japan banned them years ago. South Korea, Australia, the EU's sharpening its knives as we speak. If you can't easily buy or sell a coin on a major liquid exchange, what is the point? It becomes digital deadweight, a collector's item for people who hate money.
And this is the funny part. Zcash tried to be slick. They went to the regulators and said, hey, Kate, it's all right. We've got transparent addresses. People can use those to be compliant.
It's the worst of both worlds. The ultimate strategy of trying to please everyone.
Oh, completely.
Ending up pleasing no one. For the real privacy advocates, it's a compromised corporate sellout.
Yep.
For the regulators, it's a financial instrument with a big flashing click here to commit crimes button.
Yep.
They're just not having it.
So you're rocking a useless feature and you're public enemy number one.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the bit everyone really cares about, the money, Morgan. What does that chart look like?
Mate, the chart is a crime scene. A complete bloodbath. Don't look at the last month.
No.
Look at the all-time chart for ZEC against Bitcoin. It is a one-way ticket to the absolute floor. It's had these little spasm pumps, sure,
Yeah.
but they are just tiny bounces on a catastrophic journey downhill.
The all-time high was in the thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Now it's a fraction of that. You're basically buying at the bottom of a ravine and praying for a helicopter that's never coming.
And the so-called gurus are just adding to the chaos. You've got Max Kaiser, the Bitcoin bulldog,
Oh, I saw this.
straight up calling it a pump and dump and predicting it'll crash to $55. Savage.
Then there's the real head scratcher, Arthur Hayes. He's a massive holder, a supposed believer, but his big advice to people was to pull all their Zcash off exchanges and shield it immediately.
Which sounds bullish if you don't think about it for more than 5 seconds.
Right.
It's a dire warning. He's saying the system is so fragile and dangerous that the only way to get any value is to use it in this very specific, isolated way that, by the way, is the exact behavior that gets you delisted from exchanges.
Yes.
It's like saying, this car is amazing, but you can only drive it in a locked garage, otherwise the wheels will fall off.
No.
That's not an endorsement, that's a cry for help.
And the final nail in the coffin, you had that Canary Capital CEO, Stephen McClug, who just came out and called it a rug pull. A rug pull. And then, this is the best part,
Go.
he said Litecoin was a better privacy option. He did. Litecoin's MEWB upgrade. Let that sink in. When serious people are unironically telling you that Litecoin is the new standard for privacy,
Oh, wow.
you know your project has completely and utterly lost the plot.
That is the ultimate insult.
It is.
That's like being told your Michelin-star restaurant just got a worse hygiene rating than the dodgy kebab van down the road.
So, let's recap. We have a core feature that's fundamentally broken by its own design. We have regulators systematically trying to erase it from existence. We have a chart that looks like a 90% off closing down sign.
And you've got influencers who are either calling it a scam or giving you survival advice that makes the coin impossible to use in the real world.
Right.
Oh, and don't let me forget the founder's reward. The rotten cherry on the moldy cake.
Ah, yes. For the first 4 years, a big slice of every single mined block went straight into the pockets of the founders and their venture capital mate.
Yep.
Guaranteed cash.
So while the community was being told to hodl and believe in the tech as the price cratered,
Yeah.
the insiders had a guaranteed, non-stop river of cash that they could dump on everyone's heads.
Yeah.
It feels less like a decentralized revolution and more like a Silicon Valley startup that's now in its final messy chapter.
Just compare it to Monero for 1 second. Monero made a choice, privacy by default, all in. They have their own mountain of problems, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But at least they know what they are. They're a specialist, they've picked a lane.
Zcash is a confused mess, swerving all over the motorway. It's not private enough for the cypherpunks, and it's way too private for the suits.
Yeah, exactly.
It exists in this valley of death in the middle, and that's a terrible, terrible place for your money to be.
So, would you be holding this bag? A coin with leaky privacy, a regulatory death sentence, a graveyard for a chart, and a history of lining insider pockets.
No chance.
Right?
You just exit liquidity, mate. You're buying so someone else, someone smarter who got in 7 years ago, can finally sell. It's a zombie coin. The body's still twitching, but the brain is long gone.
Yeah.
Don't get bitten.
Perfectly put. All right, that's our 2 pence on that disaster of a project. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. In a world where governments are demanding more transparency, is the dream of a truly private mainstream cryptocurrency even possible, or was it always just the fantasy?
Tony's a chewer.
Definitely. If you enjoyed the roast, or you're a diehard ZEC fan and want to tell her how wrong we are, come and have a word in the chat group. The link's down below. Sign up with the CX Refling to say thank you for the alpha, hop in and have a laugh with us.
Do it.
We'll be in there, taking the mick. See you lot.